Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel and another stream. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the updated Flight Factor Boeing 767-300ER. We've recently done a flight with the 767, but it has received an update, so today we are going to be taking a look at the aircraft and its systems in a flight from Los Angeles International to Phoenix in the state of Arizona. Want to welcome all of you guys here in chat. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Rand Cooley, Papa Justify, welcome aboard. Flyby, Stan, Benjamin, welcome, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Thank you very much. Eric Herbers 001, welcome aboard, and good evening to you, my friend. Sasha, welcome. Greetings to you, my friend. Glad to have you here. And we have Flacy WGA, welcome. Top Dog, something, top G. Sorry. Avianator, welcome aboard. And Aaron, hello, welcome, guys. Glad to have you here. And of course, a quick reminder that the Q8 Pilot streams are powered by Navigraph and ELEVATEX for flight tracking. Okay, so the weather is less than perfect here at Los Angeles International, and the beautiful scenery that you're seeing here is of short final, a beautiful scenery really, and a very accurate rendition of Los Angeles International for X-Plane 12. A little heavy on the frames, not the airport, but this area, generally speaking, is heavy on the frames. So let's take a quick look here at the beautiful Delta livery here. I downloaded off the of the X-Plane.org. A very nice reflection, as you can see. I still don't like the wings too much. There's a bit of exaggeration on the PBR on the wings, but overall, this looks beautiful. The aircraft, the texturing, the modeling of this aircraft, the beautiful General Electric engines we're using on this flight, a little change from the Pratt & Whitney that we've used in the previous flight. So today, this aircraft, by the way, is a real-world livery of Delta, and the aircraft is 26.7 years old. I'm not sure if it's still in service, but today we are going to fly it to Phoenix, and hopefully it won't give us too much trouble. Right, that said, we're going to hop into the beautiful 3D cockpit of the 767, and we're going to start prepping things up for our flight. So let's bring up the electronic flight bag, and of course we are using today also the Mango Studio pack for the sound pack of the aircraft. So let's go to ground. We are going to bring up the fuel truck and the GPU. And we need to change everything here to pounds. So let me go to options, sim settings. We're going to remove metric units and go back, save the config, and we'll go back to ground. And now we can enter the information here. But first we need to go to airplane, and I'll just say open all doors. And next we can go to the ground and set things up. Perfect. So that I don't need. Let's go to our SimBrief flight plan, and we are going to take a look here at our flight plan from SimBrief. As you can see, today we are departing Los Angeles runway 24 left through the DOTS 2 departure. We are going to be cruising at 39,000 feet and arriving just under an hour later to Phoenix, where the weather conditions appears to be nice. VFR conditions at Phoenix Sky Harbor International, arriving runway 007 right through the Hyder 1 arrival through the Bravo Lima Hotel transition. Perfect. Let's come down here and set things up. 227 passengers aboard this flight, and the cargo is 0 cargo. We'll just put 1,000 for cargo. Actually, let's put 2,000 for cargo. There we go. And the fuel, where you want the block fuel for the flight. Block fuel is 23,145. So we're going to just say 25,000 pounds of fuel and optimize CG. And we're going to start loading the aircraft. Perfect. Next up, we're going to bring electrical power to the aircraft. So we're going to go to the overhead panel And first thing first, battery switch on and standby power to auto. APU gen and external power, let's turn both of these on. Bus ties on, utility buses on. And let's come here and we'll put this here so that it gives us the rating for our IRS alignment. 7 minutes until alignment. Yaw dampers are on. We're going to turn on the hydraulics here. And then we're going to come over and turn the emergency lights. We're going to arm the emergency lights. And let's see here. We can start actually the APU. Let's go ahead and start it. We're going to test the cockpit voice recorder. Again, modeled visually, but nothing happens. And then we're going to come down here. We'll leave the... actually, we can turn on... Let's turn on the fuel pumps. That's fine. Okay. Coming down here, we're going to turn on the position lights on and turn on the window heat. Turn on USB. I'm not sure really what this is. HF, high frequency. Yeah, it looks like some high frequency radio of some sort. All right, non-smoking signs, fasten seatbelt signs on auto, cabin pressure on auto. Or come down here. Everything here looks good. Let's set the air conditioning here to auto. So automatic. And there we go. Trim air, recirc fans are on. And we can put the packs on auto for the time being. Isolation valves on. And APU bleed is on. Perfect. Now we should get everything here. All right, so the aircraft is now supplied with electrical power from the GPU, and as soon as the... let's take a quick look here. It looks like the aircraft is currently loaded. So once we have APU power, we can disconnect the GPU. Perfect. Golden Aviation, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Now tracking you on ELEVATEX. Oh, cool. Again, guys, if you haven't already done so, please give ELEVATEX a try. It's completely freeware, and it's an excellent flight tracking tool. So we're going to put the computer here on automatic, and let's bring up the McDo or the FMS. Actually, is it called FMC or McDo? I don't think on a Boeing it's called McDo, is it? I could be mistaken, but that's very unusual. All right, FMC, we're going to come here and we're going to take a look. Everything here looks good. We're going to go to position in it, and the airport that we're flying from is Kilo Lima Alpha X-Ray. That is Los Angeles International. We are at the Delta hangar, basically, or the Delta position. Routes, we're going to select KLAX to Kilo Papa Hotel X-Ray, which is Phoenix International. Today, we are Delta 8961, so that's Del 8961. This is a real-world Delta flight, but it is not on the 767. Excuse me. And there we go. So we're going to go to the departure, and the departure is the DOTS 2 departure through the, how do you say this? Cannery? All right, that's the departure. And it's runway 24 left, which is very close proximity to where we are right now. Let's go to the routes page and go to the next page. Let's take a look here. Let me move this away. And let's come down here. Very, very short flight. The route is very simple, so we're going to put in the VOR, which is Bravo Lima Hotel, flight direct. And if you're not sure, by the way, which one, normally it is the first one. So these are both VOR stations. If you're not sure, always you can go to your flight plan and you can go and scroll down until you find BLH, which is this one here. As you can see the frequency here is 117.4, and it matches the first one. Normally it is the first one. Just if you're not sure, that's how you verify that it is the correct one. So we're going to select that one, and next we're going to go to the arrival. So if I go back here, you'll see the hider 1 for Phoenix 07 right. So we're going to go back to the arrival here, and we are going to select the hider 1 through the BLH transition, and it's the ILS runway 07 right. Let's see if we have a transition here. We're going to go to the approach plates and go to runway 07 right for the ILS. And we're going to just zoom in here a little bit and see if we need to put... The ILS transition is right there, as you can see, and we have it. So we're going to come this way, and then, yeah, let's select that one. And then we're going to go to route, activate, and execute. Perfect. Let's make sure that the plane is loaded, so we're good here. So we're going to go to perf int, and we're going to select the 0 fuel here. So just by clicking here, it will automatically set it for you. And the reserves, if we go back to our flight plan, it's the alternate plus final reserve. That's well, we're not going to put that much. We're just going to put 2,000 pounds of fuel and 39,000 feet for our cruise altitude. Our index today is 64. Perfect. 64, and the cruise winds 173 at 17. Perfect. Next, we're going to go to the takeoff page. We're going to select flaps 5 and set the CG 1.9 and click here for our speeds. V rotate is 133 and V2 142. The trim is 1.9, and if you come down here, that's yeah, all right. So let's set this to, I think that's right there. That's about right. Excellent. And now we can put this on the legs page and make sure we have no... Oh, there's one disco there. So let's take care of that and execute. Next. And there's another one there. So let's execute it there. And then that's the arrival into Phoenix. Let's very quickly verify our flight plan. So we're going to come down here and we're going to select this on plan. And we're going to step through just to make sure everything looks legit. Let's put this on the step. Right, there we go. We're going to just make sure that everything looks legit. This is top of descent. And as you can see here, we have some funny things there. So let's decrease the range a little bit. Okay, so that's Alex, and we can actually come to direct to altitude FF Fixa. Let's see here. Let me step through here. Yeah, that's the runway right there. Okay. We can manage that, not an issue. And we need to set our altimeter. So let's come and grab this real quick here. For Los Angeles is 299er. Okay. So 299er, and we have it here, 299er, and we'll do it on the first officer's side as well. 299er is now set. Perfect. We're going to set the VORDME to auto, and we're going to head over to the overhead panel. And we see here that, yeah, we have the APU now running, so let's turn on the flight directors on both sides. And we're going to set the altitude to our final cruise altitude, which is 39,000 feet. 39,000 is set. And we'll see. Runway heading is 240. All right, so 240. That's about... Right, we'll set it in a second here. All right, everything here looks good, and we can now look at the beautiful texturing. Very, very nice indeed. All right, let's come over here, and let's see. We want to come to the ground. We're going to remove, let me make sure that we have the utilities. Yeah, we have the utility buses on, so we can remove the GPU. Why does it keep doing that? All right, let me make sure we didn't lose our flight plan. Thankfully, we did not. And let's see here. Let me switch this back to map. There we go. All right. So our departure runway. Did we select the right runway? Let me take a look here. 24 left. Yeah, it looks like we're going to make a turn, aren't we? 24 left. Where's 24 left? Let me remove that and that. Right, if I'm not mistaken, 24 left is right here. Yeah, that's 24 left. Okay. All right, so we're not far from the runway. Okay. Perfect. Everything's looking good. And we can now turn on the beacon lights on. Red beacon. And let's push out of our position and be on our way to Phoenix. Rejected takeoff or auto brakes to rejected takeoff. And everything else here is in tip-top shape. All right, let's close the aircraft doors. We're going to come to ground. We can remove the fuel truck. And we'll go to airplane, close all, and we're good to go. All right, perfect. Hello there, Mr. Valero. Welcome aboard. Dominic, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. North Gaming, welcome. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate that very much. All right, perfect. Everything is set and ready to go. So let's go to better pushback, start push.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
All right, we'll just position the aircraft right there.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
And the tow is driving up, ladies and gents. We are ready. See, red beacon is on. And everything else is set. Perfect. My favorite channel got my snacks ready. Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it there, my friend. And welcome aboard. Is the beacon light still rotary or had it been updated to flashing one? Well, we can find out. It is definitely flashing.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
All right, ready to connect here. And let me just come very quickly down here. And we are going to change this to, all right, alt off. And everything else here looks good. We need to just rotate the outer knob there so that we have the frequency and then we can test it. And everything else is in tip-top shape for our flight. I hate how in X-Plane the cockpit goes from light
Tow
to
connected
dark,
and bypass pin
like how it
inserted.
just did.
Release parking brake.
I think this is something to do with the new rendering that Laminar uses to fix the dark cockpit lighting. So,
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
why didn't the jetway move away? We have the beacons on, don't we? All right. All right, packs to off. And we're going to go with engine number 2 first. There we go. Engine number 2 starting. All right. Check out the engine sounds there. This guy has got to be fired. All right, looks like we have a good start on the engine number 2. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1. So we're going to come over here and go engine 2, engine 1, beg your pardon. And now we have the engine number 1 coming to life. Right, and fuel.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Very nice rendition of Los Angeles International Airport. All right, there we go. Everything here is set up. We're going to put LNAV and VNAV. And turn on the engine generators. And let's see here. We can... Why is this saying Eno and Eno? Let's give it a second here. We're going to put these on auto. Ah, that's why. Engine bleeds are on. APU bleed is off. We're going to turn off the APU.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed.
Off.
Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
All right, there we go. All right, everything's looking good here. We are ready to go. And we need to set our flaps. Flaps 5. You can see the, again, the use of PBR materials on the wing. Makes it just a tiny bit too shiny for my liking. Why is Nightbot not giving you the scenery? Maybe you want to try it again, Stan. I'm not sure why it hasn't done what it's supposed to do. All right. Parking brake. It did before. Yeah. Hi, Q8. Question. I'm planning to buy X-Plane 12. Any suggestion for AI traffic when flying offline? KD Drives, I recommend Traffic Global by Just Flight, the very best AI traffic available for X-Plane today. All right, so we are going to turn on the taxi lights on. And let's see here. Do we need to configure everything here is set and cross-checked? So, and we are good to go. So let's release the parking brake. Parking brake is released and off we go. How about that? Really, really nice scenery of Los Angeles International. I've been to Los Angeles International many times in real life. Normally arriving into the Tom Bradley terminal but I believe this is a very accurate rendition of the airport, and the ground markings. Again, you'll see the screen once you land at Los Angeles. Very, very nice airport. All right, we are ready to go, and runway 27 left, or 24 left, beg your pardon, is right here. So I'm going to make the turn here. And then left turn to the airport, right turn to the runway. All right, there we go. Right, we're going to turn on our landing lights. White for strobes. And our runway turn-off lights, taxi light off. So the white is your strobe light. Really, really nice looking aircraft. Look at the flaps, look at the wing. Very nicely done by Flight Factor. Considering how old this aircraft is, it's quite dated, if you ask me. Right, auto throttle on. But it's good to see them actually, you know, coming back to their older aircraft and updating them. Right, that's our departure runway, runway 24 left. Right, let's line up. And I'm going to reset my view. All right, we're good to go. And toga. Check out those General Electric engine sounds from the Mango studio. Right, V1, rotate. Positive rate, gears going up. Right, and we're coming up to 1,000 VNAV speed. Command A is engaged. Right, and let's begin retracting the flaps. Very nice. Get that flickering there, which is a known issue that Laminar is working on. Right, we're going to come down here and we're going to change the range. There we go. That's much better. X-Plane needs to fix crabbing. It's overdone. Yes, a little bit. What happened there on takeoff with the engines? I'm not sure. Just the thrust kind of started going down, so I had to manually bring the throttles to the takeoff thrust. Right, looking good. Not a very nice day to fly out of Los Angeles. Pretty cloudy. Is SimHeaven compatible with X-Plane 11? Yes, they do have a version for X-Plane 11. Hello there, Carl. Glad to have you here. Right. 8,000. And 9,000. Right, landing lights off. Runway turn off lights off. And the texturing is just really nice. Very, very nice aircraft. There you'll be able to see again the beautiful cockpit textures there of the 767 here as we climb above 10,000 feet. Shadows is definitely something that's been significantly improved in the latest versions of X-Plane. You don't really need anymore to apply the shadow fix that I've made a tutorial on. You probably need it if you're still using X-Plane 11. It might come in handy, but I think in this version it just really works very, very well. The shadows are really, really nice in this version. Right, looking good. The clouds, without a doubt, still needs some refinements there, but they are looking very nice here. In some situations, they don't look as good, but right here, I think they're looking very nice, as you can see here. Yeah. What's the best VOR navigation plane you recommend for cargo ops that is not using too advanced features? I'm not sure. So there are a lot of, most of the planes you can fly using VOR navigation if equipped. So the Felis, for example, 747, even the Zibo 737 could be flown using only VOR navigation if that's what you choose to do. But maybe general aviation, maybe like something like the King Air, you really enjoy VOR navigation with something like the King Air. All right, Barrow standard, we are above 18, so let's do that here and here. There we go, altimeter is set to standard. And we continue our climb now to our cruise altitude. We're already at 20,000 feet. Very powerful engines there on the 767. Q8, are you using Active Sky? No, I am using default X-Plane 12 weather. In the most recent beta 6, things have been significantly improved, and with 12.2.0, there's been an update that addressed the clouds in X-Plane, and they are looking fantastic. So I don't think that we need Active Sky anymore. Although I have to say that the weather information from Active Sky seems to be more accurate than the weather generated from X-Plane. That said, though, it's okay. As far as I'm concerned, it's okay. It works just fine. So let's see here. Let's set that, and here we can have a nice wing view there with those beautiful General Electric engines. As we climb to our cruise altitude. Here's another look. And back in the cockpit, 24,000. Just had a CTD after 9 hours. Ooh. Sounds terrible. I think you are speaking to the wrong person. Q8, does the overhead egg timer work? Overhead egg timer? I don't know. I'm not sure what you're referring to, so my apologies. Hello, Samuel. How are you doing, my friend? Well, the flight is good. And the Mango Studio Sound Pack is not bad, but it's not great in my view. It's all right. It's better than the default sounds, surely. Right. So, Flight Factor, as a company, I think has been around for a very long time. And the very first aircraft that I personally purchased for X-Plane 10 was their 777 extended version. Now that aircraft at that time, considering the state, that was 10 years ago, guys. So at that point in time, I think that the 777 by Flight Factor was a wow aircraft. And it was an expensive aircraft to buy. But by today's standards, of course, it's probably not even worth $10. So things have really changed in our hobby. The flight sim industry has grown exponentially. I think over the past 5 years is where we really started to see a lot of interest, not just from the casual flight simmers, but even from real-world pilots, and they started really using flight simulators or X-Plane and even Microsoft Flight Sim as a training aid. Now with Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and 2024, I think certain aircraft are used by real-world pilots. I can name the Phoenix A320 is an aircraft that's definitely up there, up to the standards, the higher standards that pilots are looking for, and a lot of them do use it for training aids and just to keep things fresh in their minds as far as procedures are concerned. The FlyJ Sim 727 is an excellent aircraft. I just really hope that they bring it to X-Plane 12. QA are using auto-ortho. No, I'm not. The King Air 350 is an excellent choice, but payload too small. Wonder if the BAE 146 is less automated and relies more on old-school navigation. Well, the BAE 146 has the FMC, but it is an aircraft that I always enjoy flying using VOR to VOR navigation, and it does so very, very well. So I highly recommend it if that's the kind of thing that you're looking for. Did you see the C-1919 Chinese commercial plane? It's very advanced, and some report might be the killer for Boeing, especially in the Middle East, Asia, and Europe. No, I haven't seen it. So you are using basic scenery. That is correct, yes. Greetings from rainy Vancouver, boss. It's been a very long time, but I'm glad I get to say hi again. Well, I'm glad that you're here, and welcome aboard, my friend. It has been a very long time indeed. Welcome. Hello there, Renat. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us, and thank you very much for your support. Right, 33,000, about 6,000 feet to go. And let me set this here. I love the advanced navigation there when you move the headings like you see it here. Very, very nice indeed. Let's take a quick look at the outside. There, look at the X-Plane clouds. Wow. You can see the scattering there. This is looking fantastic. Here's another wing view for you guys. And as you can see, the clouds in X-Plane are definitely starting to look like real clouds. Is the TCAS off? Yes, you are right. The TCAS is off. So, there we go. TARA is now set. Very, very nice view here. As we approach our cruise altitude, you can see the top of climb there. Very nice indeed. Takes a little bit of time. I think this is a known issue with Laminar, so it takes a little bit of time for the proper lighting to render in the cockpit. The seat sheepskin though. Max, nicely. How are you doing, my friend? Best part about XP clouds is even in the smaller ones, you lose complete visibility versus an MSFS where it seems like the cloud fades away. Yeah. They call it the cloud smoothing, if you will. So the cloud smoothing, I think, in X-Plane has been done very, very well. And now they have also fixed the issue where when there is a very thick layer of cloud and you can't really see the ground when you're on top of it. In previous versions of X-Plane, this was an issue where you could actually see through the clouds. So that has been resolved. Also the fog has been resolved, so it looks a lot more realistic now. Highly recommend to try the FS Labs in MSFS. Well, I have had the FS Labs for P3D, and I can tell you that it is probably one of the very best in terms of simulation. The fidelity of FS Labs is second to none. Unfortunately, I do not have Microsoft Flight 2020 anymore. I've uninstalled it. I'm only using 2024 at this point in time. I have no plans of going back to 2020. And I will only really consider a bit more focus on 2024 when the sim is in a state where the developers are ready to, port and move all their add-ons there. Still, until this very day, I think we have some sort of altitude alert. Ah, okay, that's fine. Until this very day, I think we are still, there are a lot of complaints on 2024. Stability is probably something that has been significantly improved in the most recent version with the Sim Update 2. But the fact is, stability remains to be a problem. Flight model remains to be a problem. A lot of the compatibility, the backward compatibility that Microsoft promised is a complete fiasco. It's just really a disastrous release of Microsoft 2024, and the developers are probably the ones that are hit the most. As a matter of fact, I was listening to the stream by Into the Blue Simulations the other day, and it appears that the reason why his channel has lost a lot of viewership is because a lot of people have actually taken leave of absence from Flight Sim altogether after the disastrous release of 2024. And until this day, it's really not, where I still think that Microsoft Flight 2020 is in a much better state than 2024. So, yeah. Have you tried helicopter in real life? Will you try in simulator, for example, Airbus helicopter? I've done several streams on the Airbus helicopter, the H16 something, I think, in the past, in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I have flown in a helicopter in real life several times. The most memorable one was in 2017 in Las Vegas, Nevada. where we've taken it. They take you to it was a helicopter tour, and it was just a wonderful experience. So yeah, Q8, the overhead egg timer is the white dial on the overhead panel above the standby power. Does it work? Can you turn it on? Let's take a look. All right, so this one here, it looks like it does work. Yeah, you can turn it. X Enviro is not needed anymore for X-Plane based on the latest updates. Yes, I agree. I definitely agree there. All right, so we are at almost 39,000 feet, which is our cruise altitude. And if I look here and go to the progress page, it says TD in 76 nautical miles. So very short flight. I love those short flights. And while we're at it, what was that? Ah, must be that timer. Okay, so while we're at it, let's take a quick look at ELEVATEX. Flybright, hey, welcome. All right, so very quickly here, if we bring this in, you can actually track. So if I go focus, it will show us. So that's us right there, and all the detailed information. I'm not sure why it's not picking. I think the gate is something that we need to enter manually here. So yeah, I think that's that. So, but you have the aircraft here, and that's us right there. So I really like this, and now you can see the flight summary. If you collapse the flight info here, this is the information that you're probably seeing on the overlay there on the screen. So again, you can expect it in 23 minutes. We are 27 minutes late. And that's the reason why that happens, is because I generated the Simbri flight plan about 45 minutes before I actually started streaming, and that's why the time of departure seems to be a little bit, that we flew a little bit late. But very nice application there. You have all your flights here, and you can, for example, you can look here. It will automatically, by the way, if you enter a proper registration number, it will get the aircraft automatically. It gets the picture, and it's get the type and how old is the aircraft. This is a 3.9 years, so 4 years old aircraft. You know, you've got your landing rate, ground speed, G-force, all the performance data there for your flight, and you can also see these stats, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I think it's definitely an application that I recommend, and it's totally free, guys. So I highly recommend that you download it and give it a shot. You won't regret it. It's free. Again, if you don't like it, you can simply remove it. But let's show the developers some love. Is this like Volanta? Yes, it's like Volanta minus the schedules. Yeah, I definitely recommend ELEVATEX. It's very lightweight, doesn't affect your FPS. And of course, I'm using also, what I've noticed is even when streaming, the overlay that I use doesn't really consume a lot of resources. So all in all, a very good flight tracker for flight simming. Okay, now I do like SimToolkit Pro a lot. It seems to have it will tax your frames a little bit more than Volanta and ELEVATEX. Okay, let's go ahead and set up for our arrival. Just beautiful clouds in X-Plane. All right, so let's bring up the, we're going to go to init reference here, and we're going to note the ILS frequency here, which is 110.75, and that we need to enter right here. So 110.75, and the approach course is 78. Right, that is set. Excellent. And we're going to do flaps 30. We're going to add 5 knots to 132, gives us 137 for our arrival. Let's see here, 137. Perfect. And next we can go to our Navigraph charts. No, not that. There we go, Navigraph charts. And I believe there is an integration with Navigraph charts. Let me see here real quick. Connections. Yeah, Navigraph and SimBrief is connected. But I'm not sure how do you get the... you do get the METAR, which is very nice. But I'm not sure how to get the... I'm sure that I've seen the... maybe it's here somewhere. Alright, so let me remove that toolbox. Aha! I think it might be somewhere. That's just for the METAR though. Briefing. Preferences. Yeah, I'm not sure how to get the charts here, but anyway. Let's go to 07 left here on Navigraph charts. Sorry, 07 right is the one we want. So 07 right. Let's bring that. And let's see. 253. Ah, what am I doing? There we go. All right. There's the top of descent, and the platform altitude is 3,000 feet. So we are going to take a quick look here at the progress page. We are 28 nautical miles now from top of descent. So 3,000 feet. Let's reset the MCP altitude to 3,000 feet. And we are all ready for the descent in about 28 nautical miles. I love those short flights. All right, 3,000 is now set. There we go. Excellent. We use timers like that egg timer on approaches too. You know, based on your speed, when you should be at MDA, DH, and also with holding. Ah, thanks for that, Carl. Appreciate it. I'll have to download it and try it. Yes, please, DB Vetter. Give the developers some love. What do we have new in this update? Well, the update is... let me see if I can go to... what do I have it here somewhere? Software add-ons. Alright. So, if we go here to the 767, and no, we don't need that. Release notes. Okay. So there seems to be a problem with Mac OS, possible CTD on reloading the model after activation, for example, or changing the model. But these are the most recent changes. So from 1.616 and 1.615, these are the new. So 3D cockpit fixes, weight fixes, fixed plane not loading on Linux due to missing libraries in package, fixed interior floor shadows, pedal animation, and in the previous version, so the one before, this one is very recent. This was, I think, yesterday or the day before. Fixed cockpit door animations, missing knobs, flap limit text bug, hide yoke option, terrain override, weather radar, fix the panel floodlight knobs animation, wrong association. So lots of these small fixes in the 3D cockpit. So all of these are very new fixes for the aircraft, and the same has been applied to the 757 as well. So these are the most recent updates to the aircraft. QA, thanks for trying the egg timer. It's a timer you can use it when rebalance your fuel, for example. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that, guys. Right, so we're coming up to the top of descent here in a few. And here's a look at the beautiful, again, this is X-Plane default. I'm not using anything as far as scenery is concerned. can see the beautiful mountains there in the distance at 39,000 feet. It looks really, really good. Those clouds are looking nice. How about that, ladies and gents? X-Plane 12 is beautiful. All right, FMC message. What is the message saying? Probably drag required. Yep, that's exactly what it says. So we can do a little bit of drag here just to... Right, the aircraft has begun the descent now. I'll leave the speed brakes deployed until we are at the right altitude for this sector. And we should be at Phoenix in just probably another 15 minutes before our arrival. Just waiting for the little diamond there to be on the center, and then we will bring back the speed brakes. Right, I think we're good. Sending at about 17, 18, 2000. Yeah, it's doing its thing now to maintain the right rate of descent. There we go, lovely. Gotta see it when it's turning. Tell you guys, X-Plane 12 is definitely looking very, very good. And from this point forward, I think we can really look forward to an improved sim from the visual perspective. Definitely Laminar is doing all the right things to make X-Plane more immersive. Hello, perfect combination. Welcome aboard. XP72 is asking, how are you getting sharp, clear clouds? Is asking how am I getting sharp, clear clouds? I don't know. I haven't really done anything beyond just, the default sim. What do you think about the default ATC? It was in a the last time I tried it, it was in a much better state than when the ATC was originally introduced in X-Plane. It has gone through several updates over the years. I haven't tried it recently. I know that it's now capable with SIDS and stars, so maybe he asked about your cockpit textures also. Really? Huh. Well, I think the cockpit textures is something to do with me using the texture setting at max, because the graphics card, my graphics card is a very powerful graphics card, so I can use the texture at max. And if you use it at max, it will definitely show the textures at the native resolution without any compression. And that's the reason why you see the cockpit textures are looking really nice. And maybe the clouds are the same. I really don't know. But yeah, in my settings guide, I show all my settings there, and I explain exactly how am I getting these clouds to look, or the cockpit textures to look that sharp. All the Airbus setup here, wing and thrustmaster stuff, keeps me away from flying Boeings, but I'd love to fly 767 sometime soon. Well, I really don't mind. I do have a Boeing yoke by thrustmaster and the quadrant as well, but I use them for Airbus as well. When I tried X-Plane 11 default ATC, it asked me to maintain altitude when I captured it. Yeah, so the ATC in X-Plane 12 has come a long way. That is the built-in ATC. So maybe we'll do a flight and we'll use the built-in ATC just to kind of showcase it. Perhaps maybe on Tuesday, I'll plan something, and maybe we'll do it. We'll take a look at the built-in ATC for X-Plane 12. I know they've improved it significantly, and now it supports SIDS and stars as well. So we'll take a look. Right, 27,000 for 3,000. And if we look here, let me go back to the legs page. Let's see, hider. Yeah, I think we're fine. I think at some point we're going to fly direct to F or Fixa. Yeah, we're looking good. 25 nautical miles. Sorry, 25,000 flight altitude. We are at 25.9, so we're good here in terms of the altitude. There is a restriction there above 24, and then at Spink or at Senra, we need to be below 22. Again, it says drag required. So let's deploy. There we go. And we'll slow down the aircraft. So far, so good. Everything is looking fantastic. I've been flying XP for 15 years and never used the built-in ATC. Thank you very much, Stan. Appreciate it, my friend. Do you think B767-400 will be upgraded and updated like this? I certainly hope so. At the time of its release, the 767-400, I believe that it was the best flight factor aircraft. But of course, that has all changed after the release of the 777, which, by the way, is looking absolutely fantastic now. All right, we are at 25. It looks like there is a restriction there, as you can see here. It says above 24, and now we should begin the descent again. The aircraft isn't descending, which it should. There we go. Right, took it a little bit of time, but eventually it started the descent. Again, you can see that a little bit of flickering of the clouds here. This is a known issue that Laminar has pointed out in the release notes for Beta 6. So hopefully something, they said they claim to be working on it as we speak. So hopefully that's something that they will resolve with the final release of the SIM or 12.2. Why do we have that still deployed? There we go. All right, looking good here. They are acting a little bit bizarre, yeah. I can't use X-Plane 12 because apparently with my 6 GB of VRAM Windows, only a size 3 and 11 freezes easily sometimes. My MSFS is broken temporarily. It becomes stuttery sometimes. Yeah, 6 GB of RAM is probably not sufficient by today's standards. Although you can probably just lower your settings and you should be fine. Sim Crash Flyer 2907, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Right, so we are at 22,000 feet for 3,000. We're looking good so far. And hopefully once we're below the clouds there, things will look nicer. One of the things I really like in this version of X-Plane is the light scattering and the sky colors, the sun and the moon. The rendering is done very, very well in this version. This is, of course, something that they definitely need to fix, but it is a known issue, as I've indicated. Right, so we are at 21. We're going to set auto brakes to 2. And everything else is configured for our approach into Phoenix. I would report the flickering, that cloud shadow flickering, not known cloud flickering. I think it is there, and they said not to report it because they're already working on it. How do you get the header panel? Is it built in? The header panel. Seitoga, what do you mean, which header panel? Do you mean the overlay where it displays the flight information? That's ELEVATEX, if that's what you're referring to. And the link is provided to you. It's pinned in chat. Click that, and it should take you to the overlay. Yeah, the overlay with the altitude is a feature of ELEVATEX. All you need to do is turn on the overlay server on within the application. Here, let me show you actually very quickly. So here is ELEVATEX, right? If you go to the settings and you go to streaming, you'll see that I have the overlay discovery server turned on. You can use your Twitch bot and things like that, and then you need to add a source in your OBS Studio or Streamlabs or your streaming software, whatever that is. And you need to make sure you add a source there, a browser source, and that's all that you need to do. You're good to go. The cockpit looks better than old one. I can see it right now. Yep, definitely. Looks really, really good. 19,000. All right, let's get our altimeter real quick here. Weather information at Phoenix 29905. And the nice thing about this, you can set it, so I can come here and set it to 29905. But then, now it's actually not set. It's still in standard, but if I click here, now it will set it to 29905. And we'll do the same thing on the... Oh, we left this... Alright, so we are descending here. Alright, so here we're going to do the same thing, 29905. And click here. And there we go, we have it. Perfect. Reset my view. We're almost there now, folks. 17,000. And if we look at the FMC, we need to be at 16. So we're just a little bit higher than the altitude for this sector. Just a little bit. Actually, this one says we're okay. So we're fine there. Look at those clouds in the distance there. They look really nice. This flickering though is very annoying, I have to say. But now you can see when we're below the clouds, they look even better. Look at that. Very, very nice. Alrighty. Okay, so we are at 15,000, and what we can do at this point is we don't want to go to this Alice, okay? So this is the hider. This is the beginning of our star. So I want to go down here next, and we're going to select this one and replace it and say execute. There we go. Actually, I'm going to also select, let me see here, TI. So this one's going to Fixa. From Fixa, we're going to go to Tesla. Previous page. All right. TIH. Is this repeated? It looks like it's repeated, doesn't it? Teach Balgo. It's definitely, we can fly direct to alright, let me select this one here. I'm going to put it here. Execute that. There we go. And I'm going to remove Fixa. No, that's not what I wanted to do. So we're going to add that there. Modify that. Let me go to Conquer Direct. All right. Not sure how bad we messed this up, but from Conquer we go to, yeah, we should be fine there. It's doing a lot of funny stuff here, but that's okay. We are at 12,000, and we want to, is there a restriction here? No, above 5,000. All right, so that's fine. Okay, so we're looking all right here. We need to descend a bit faster. We'll leave it, let it do its thing for now. Doing a lot of funny things. Why is it doing this? From Kager it goes to Balti. From Balti, so Balti. From Balti it goes to Tesla again. Now that we need to delete. So let's delete this one. Let's select that. So now from Balti it goes to Toti. Tell you what, let's select Toti. Execute. There we go. Much better. Alright, let me extend the speed brake. And we are good here. All right, 10,000. Landing lights. And auto brake is already set. We need to be at 3,000. And we're just about reaching 255 here. We want better today. Okay, no problem. Are you having Vulkan device loss issues? No. I've had it once in beta 5. All right, we are below 10,000 feet. Our speed is below 250, so we are good there. And we're going to continue the descent here. If we look, we have about, let's see here, 25 nautical miles. So we should be fine in terms of the descent. Right, 8,000. So another 5,000 feet. We should be okay. We have, I think, the runway is right there ahead of us. Oof, what happened to the colors here of the cockpit? I think I can see the airport. Is that the airport right there? Looks like it is. Okay, let's take a look here. All right. What I'm tempted to do now is to start slowing the aircraft down. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to vertical speed. I'm going to reduce the speed to 180 knots. And the rate of descent is fine. We can go to approach. And we're going to keep descending and slowing down the aircraft until we line up with runway 07 right at Phoenix. The airport is right ahead of us now. Yeah, we have the speed brake deployed. And we're looking good. I remember that I took Ava Air B777-3DR 2 years ago. Strangely, this plane was at 290 as at 9,000 feet. Is this legal? 290 knots at 9,000 feet is not legal, for sure. All right, and we are going to Right, we are at our at the assigned altitude, so our speed now should start reducing. Our final speed today is 137 for the approach. So now we're going to start reducing our speed. Right, speed check, and let's go to flaps 5. I'll reduce the speed to 160 knots. looking good. Yeah, we're pitching up a little bit. Ooh. Let me see here. Okay. Much better. The colors are fixed now. Right, we can see that the needle, I think we need another degree flaps. Okay, let's go to flaps 10. That will help correct the pitch there of the aircraft. There you go. Wow, look at that, guys. Look at this approach. Look at the night lighting in X-Plane. All right, we're looking good here. And we should start seeing the localizer needle moving towards the center in just a little bit. We definitely have the runway in sight here if we look up. There we go. We have captured the localizer. And we can see the glide slope needle started moving now as well. We're going to go ahead and lower the landing gear. Landing gear coming down. And speed check flaps 15. 150 knots. And we have the runway in sight. Beautiful Phoenix is to our left here. You can see the nice city buildings. And you guys want a butter landing, so I hope that I can give you what you guys want. This is a beautiful approach into Phoenix. Let's just make sure what the speed again, 137. I'm going to go to our approach speed, which is 137 here. And speed check, flaps 25. Speed check and flaps full. We are configured. I think the frames are suffering a little bit. Yeah, definitely 33 frames. Yeah, very intense scenery here, I suppose. We could use lossless scaling, but we'll just leave it. Right, 1,000 feet, we'll disconnect the autopilot. I'll hand fly the aircraft. Looking good. Wow, beautiful approach. Beautiful clouds. 1,000. And my aircraft. And let's turn off the auto throttle as well. Ladies and gents, welcome to Phoenix International Airport. Reversers. And manual braking. What do you guys think? It was pretty cool, huh? All right. All right, let's see. We can go over there and we'll exit the runway and we'll just do a replay. You know what, guys, I think for the replay, I think let's bring up lossless scaling because I think the frames are really suffering here. So let me do that there and hopefully things will go just as, yeah, I think the frames are suffering a bit. So where's my... There we go. Yeah, much smoother with lossless scaling. Hopefully the sim won't crash though. Okay, there we go. I think right about here so we can enjoy it. There we go. Let's remove that. And let's remove that. Go. Wow, look at that. What beautiful sight in X-Plane 12, ladies and gents. Look at the night lighting there. My favorite replay view here. Look at that. Wow. That was really, really cool. Yes, the Mango Studios are based on F-Mod sounds. That's correct. All right, here's another view. Just look at the beauty of X-Plane 12, ladies and gents. The lighting is just sensational. Very, very nice. That was a buttery landing there for you guys. All right, we're gonna do it one more time with the wing view. That was really a cool flight. Go. We'll do it the other side. There we go. That is just beautiful. Very, very cool. All right. We can retract the flaps. Let's start the APU. Oop. There we go, APU starting. And yeah, with lossless scaling, things are much better. Yeah, we're getting about 30 frames natively, and so lossless scaling doubles that to 60, which is pretty cool. Right, taxi lights on, runway turn-off lights, and landing lights off. White light is off. All right. We'll just go to this terminal here. I really enjoyed streaming for you guys this 767 flight service from Los Angeles to Phoenix Harbor International Airport. It's been a lot of fun, and we've made it safely here to let me show you guys a couple of things here, maybe with the all right, so let's see here, the panel lights. And here you can see the lighting inside the cockpit, which looks really, really cool. Oh, we don't need the dome lights. And this is what things look like during nighttime, which is pretty cool. Right, looks like the APU is now running, and we'll make a stop here at this gate. Let's turn off the taxi lights so we don't blind the marshalers and the ground crew.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, and parking brake set. We have the APU bleed on. Perfect. And now we can kill our engines. Perfect. And we can now go to beacon light off. We can also turn off the nav lights. And there you have it, ladies and gents. The Boeing 767 by Flight Factor. I believe that's a default airport. I think, not sure if I'm using Mr. X's or if this is the default, but I think it might be the default Phoenix airport. Yeah, that's probably default. All right, well, guys, this is it for today's flight. I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. We'll be back again this coming Tuesday on another stream here on the channel, and another excellent, hopefully, X-Plane stream in an excellent X-Plane aircraft. I'm thinking maybe we'll do the Fila 747, but I'll go back to the previous polls that we've done and see what you guys have voted for as a second option. And maybe we'll take that for our next flight on Tuesday. But until then, ladies and gents, please take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in this evening, and have a pleasant day. Bye-bye for now.